Hey there, you looking kinda cute. Don't forget to subscribe and check out my other socials for more. Enjoy. You look beautiful, came a gentle voice from the doorway. Turning, the woman in the mirror, Emily, met the loving gaze of her wife, Olivia. A blush colored her cheeks as she smoothed non-existent wrinkles from her outfit. You really think so? Emily asked, voice soft with vulnerability. Olivia crossed the room and took Emily's hands in her own. I know so, but more importantly, how do you feel? Emily closed her eyes, focusing inward. The fabric against her skin, the light sway of the skirt, even the gentle pressure of the bra, it all felt right in a way she struggled to put into words. I feel me, she finally said, meeting Olivia's eyes. For the first time in my life, I feel like the outside matches what's inside. Olivia's smile was radiant as she pulled Emily into a tender embrace. I'm so proud of you, she whispered. As they held each other, Emily's mind drifted back over the long and winding path that had led to this moment. The earliest memory was from preschool. While the other boys roughhoused with toy trucks and action figures, Emily, then known as Ethan, was drawn to the play kitchen. There was something soothing about carefully arranging the plastic food, setting the tiny table for an imaginary tea party. One day, the teacher gently suggested trying the blocks instead. Wouldn't you rather build a tall tower? She'd asked with an encouraging smile. Not wanting to disappoint, Ethan had nodded and moved to the block corner, but the brightly colored kitchen set continued to call, a siren song of domestic comfort. At home, things were different. With no judgmental eyes watching, Ethan could lose hours playing with dolls or trying on Mom's shoes. There was a particular pair of red heels that held an almost magical allure. Tottering around the bedroom in them brought a rush of giddy joy that nothing else could match. One afternoon, engrossed in brushing a Barbie's long blonde hair, Ethan didn't hear the front door open. Dad's booming voice shattered the peaceful moment. What are you doing with your sister's toys? Startled, Ethan dropped the doll. I was just... Dad's brow furrowed as he took in the scattered dolls and costume jewelry. This isn't for boys, son. Why don't we go outside and throw the football around? The words stung, but the disappointment in Dad's eyes hurt even more. Ethan nodded mutely and followed him outside, leaving behind the safe haven of imagination and self-expression. As the years passed, Ethan learned to hide those parts of himself. He joined the boys on the playground, kicking soccer balls and playing tag. But in quiet moments alone, fingers would trail longingly over soft fabrics in clothing stores or linger on glossy magazine pages showcasing the latest fashion trends. The onset of puberty brought new challenges. While classmates eagerly tracked newfound muscle definition or the first hints of facial hair, Ethan felt a growing sense of disconnection from his changing body. Showers became an exercise in averting eyes and rushing through the motions, desperate to escape the mirror's accusatory gaze. One night, unable to sleep, Ethan crept to the computer in the den. With shaking hands, he typed "feel like a girl inside" into the search bar. The flood of results was overwhelming. Terms like transgender and gender dysphoria leapt from the screen. Heart-pounding, Ethan clicked link after link, devouring information. For the first time, there were words to describe the feelings that had always seemed so confusing and isolating. But with understanding came fear. The stories of rejection, discrimination, and violence were terrifying. Ethan quickly cleared the browser history and crept back to bed, mind reeling. The next morning, Ethan buried those revelations deep. It was easier, safer to keep playing the role everyone expected. And so the years marched on. High school, college, first job. On the surface, Ethan was the perfect son, the dependable friend, the rising star at work. But beneath it all, an ache of incompleteness grew. Then came the day Ethan quite literally stumbled into Olivia. Late for a meeting, distracted by an incoming text, he rounded a corner and collided with a whirlwind of flowing skirts and jangling bangles. Papers and coffee went flying as they both tumbled to the ground. "I'm so sorry," Ethan exclaimed, scrambling to gather scattered documents. "I wasn't watching where I was going." A musical laugh cut through his flustered apologies. "No harm done," came the reply, "though I think your shirt got the worst of it." Glancing down, Ethan saw a large coffee stain spreading across his white dress shirt. "Oh no," he groaned. "Here," said the woman, fishing in her oversized purse. She produced a packet of wipes with a flourish. "These are great for getting out stains before they set." Their eyes met as she handed over the wipes, and Ethan felt his breath catch. She was striking. Warm brown eyes crinkled at the corners from laughter, a riot of dark curls framing her face. But more than her physical beauty, there was an aura of vibrant energy about her that was magnetic. "I'm Olivia," she said, gathering the last of her papers. "Ethan," he replied, dabbing ineffectually at his shirt. "And really, I can't apologize enough." Olivia waved away his words. "Tell you what, let me buy you a replacement coffee to make up for spilling yours all over you." And just like that, Ethan found himself being swept along in Olivia's wake. One coffee date turned into dinner, which led to long conversations that stretched into the early hours of the morning. Olivia's free spirit and open mind created a safe space where Ethan felt truly seen for the first time. Their courtship was a whirlwind, and within a year they were married. But even as Ethan reveled in the joy of their relationship, that persistent ache remained, a secret kept even from the person he loved most. It all came to a head on their first anniversary. Olivia had planned an elaborate evening, complete with a homemade gourmet meal and Ethan's favorite wine. As they basked in the candlelight, she presented a beautifully wrapped box. "Open it," she urged, practically vibrating with excitement. Ethan carefully untied the ribbon and lifted the lid. Inside, nestled in tissue paper, was a delicate silk nightgown in a deep emerald green. Time seemed to stop as Ethan stared at the garment, a maelstrom of emotion rising in his chest. Desire, fear, shame, and hope warred for dominance. "Ethan?" Olivia's voice was tentative. Well, I've seen the way you look at my clothes sometimes, and how your fingers linger on certain fabrics when we're shopping. I hoped maybe this was something you'd like to explore together." Tears spilled down Ethan's cheeks as years of pent-up longing and fear came crashing down. Through broken sobs, the whole story came pouring out. The childhood memories, the growing sense of disconnect, the secret late-night research binges. Olivia listened with rapt attention, squeezing Ethan's hand in support. When the torrent of words finally slowed, she spoke softly. "Thank you for trusting me with this," she said. "I love you, all of you. Whatever path you choose to explore your identity, I'm here by your side." It was as if a great weight lifted from Ethan's shoulders. That night marked the beginning of a journey of self-discovery for them both. At first, it was small steps, painting toenails, trying on Olivia's clothes in the safety of their bedroom. Each experiment brought a mix of exhilaration and terror, but with Olivia's unwavering support, confidence grew. They researched together, learning about hormone therapy and other medical options. Ethan began seeing a therapist who specialized in gender identity issues. Slowly, painfully, they broached the subject with close friends and family. Some relationships were strained or lost, but many loved ones rallied around them with acceptance and encouragement. Which brought them to tonight, the first time Ethan had fully dressed as Emily, complete with carefully applied makeup and a wig chosen to match her natural hair color. It was simultaneously terrifying and freeing. "Are you ready?" Olivia asked gently, breaking Emily from her reverie. Emily took a deep breath and nodded. They had dinner reservations at a trans-friendly restaurant across town, Emily's first public outing in her true identity. As they walked to the car hand in hand, Emily marveled at the click of her heels on the pavement and the swish of her skirt around her legs. The warm evening air caressed her exposed skin in a way that felt brand new. At a stoplight, Olivia reached over and squeezed Emily's hand. "You're glowing," she said with a soft smile. Emily realized she was. For the first time in her life, she felt truly comfortable in her own skin. There was still a long road ahead, coming out at work, potentially starting hormone therapy, navigating the complex legal and medical aspects of transition. But in this moment, she was simply happy to be herself. The restaurant was cozy and welcoming, soft music playing in the background. As the hostess led them to their table, Emily felt eyes on her. But instead of the judgment or disgust she'd feared, she saw only curiosity or, more often, simple disinterest. They were just another couple out for a nice dinner. Over appetizers, they talked about Emily's upcoming appointment to discuss hormone options. Olivia's excitement was infectious as she detailed the research she'd done on various treatment plans. "I know it's a big step," she said, reaching across the table to grasp Emily's hand. "But seeing you like this, so radiantly happy, I can't wait to support you through the whole journey." Emily blinked back tears of joy. "I couldn't do this without you," she said softly. "Your love and acceptance mean everything to me." As they finished their meal, Emily noticed a young woman at a nearby table watching them. She tensed slightly, wondering if they were about to face their first confrontation of the evening. But when the woman approached, her eyes were shining with emotion. "I'm sorry to interrupt," she said, "but I just wanted to say how beautiful you both are together. Seeing your happiness and love, it gives me hope." Emily and Olivia thanked her, touched by the unexpected moment of connection. As they left the restaurant, they discussed how many others might be silently struggling with their identity, lacking the support system they'd found in each other. "Maybe someday we could volunteer with a support group," Emily mused. "Help others the way your acceptance helped me." Olivia beamed at the suggestion. "I think that's a wonderful idea. Your journey could inspire so many people." Back home, Emily carefully removed her makeup and wig. As she changed into comfortable pajamas, she caught sight of herself in the mirror. Even without the trappings of femininity, she saw herself differently now. The person looking back was authentic in a way she'd never been before. Olivia came up behind her, wrapping her arms around Emily's waist. "What's on your mind, beautiful?" Emily leaned back into the embrace. "I was just thinking about how far we've come. A year ago, I was terrified to even admit these feelings to myself. And now, I feel like I'm finally becoming who I was always meant to be." They crawled into bed, limbs tangling comfortably as they had countless nights before. But there was a new energy between them, the excitement of embarking on a shared adventure, of rediscovering each other as Emily grew into her true self. As she drifted off to sleep, Emily felt a profound sense of peace. The road ahead would have its challenges, but she faced them not with fear, but with hope. For the first time, the future stretched out before her, filled with possibility rather than dread. In the morning, she would wake up one step closer to aligning her outer self with her inner truth, and Olivia would be right there beside her, hand in hand, every step of the way. The soft light of dawn was just beginning to creep through the curtains when Emily stirred. For a moment, disorientation clouded her mind. The silky fabric against her skin felt unfamiliar. Then memory rushed back, bringing with it a flood of emotion. She'd fallen asleep wearing the emerald nightgown, too reluctant to take it off after their evening out. Now, in the gentle morning light, she marveled at how natural it felt. The way the material draped over her body, the delicate lace at the neckline, it all felt right in a way her old pajamas never had. Beside her, Olivia mumbled sleepily and snuggled closer. Emily placed a soft kiss on her forehead, overwhelmed with gratitude for her wife's unwavering support. As she lay there, Emily's mind wandered to the day ahead. They had plans to meet with a support group for transgender individuals and their partners. The thought brought a mix of anxiety and excitement. While Emily had connected with others online, this would be her first time meeting people face to face who truly understood her experiences. Carefully extracting herself from Olivia's embrace, Emily padded to the bathroom. She studied her reflection in the mirror, taking in the stubble on her chin and the angular planes of her face. For so long, these features had been a source of discomfort and dysphoria, but now she saw them as simply challenges to overcome on her journey. With steady hands, she began her morning routine. The act of shaving took on new significance, each stroke of the razor feeling like an act of self-care rather than an obligation. She'd been practicing with makeup, and today she felt brave enough to attempt a full face. As she carefully applied foundation, concealer, and a touch of contouring, Emily marveled at the transformation. The person staring back from the mirror was undeniably feminine, despite the lingering masculine features. It wasn't perfect, but it was progress. A light knock on the door startled her from her contemplation. "Everything okay in there?" Olivia called softly. "Come in," Emily replied, a hint of nervousness in her voice. She'd never let Olivia see her in the midst of her makeup routine before. The door creaked open and Olivia peeked in. Her eyes widened as she took in Emily's appearance. "Wow," she breathed. "You look amazing." Emily blushed, ducking her head. "It's not finished yet," she demurred. "Well, it's already gorgeous," Olivia insisted. She came to stand behind Emily, wrapping her arms around her waist and resting her chin on her shoulder. "Want some help with your eyes? I have a palette that would look stunning with that nightgown." Together, they finished Emily's makeup. As Olivia carefully applied eyeshadow, Emily marveled at the intimacy of the moment. This shared ritual of femininity felt like crossing a threshold into a new phase of their relationship. Once the final swipe of mascara was in place, Olivia stepped back to admire her handiwork. "Perfect," she declared with a satisfied nod. Emily turned back to the mirror, and her breath caught in her throat. The woman looking back at her was breathtaking, smoky eyes, softly blushed cheeks, and lips painted a deep rose. For the first time, her outside truly matched how she felt inside. Tears welled up, threatening to ruin the careful makeup application. "Thank you," Emily whispered, voice thick with emotion. Olivia squeezed her hand. "No need to thank me. This is who you are. I'm just helping you show it to the world." They shared a kiss before Olivia shooed Emily out of the bathroom so she could get ready. As Emily went to choose an outfit for the day, she felt a newfound confidence in her steps. The support group meeting was held in a community center downtown. As they approached the building, Emily's nerves returned full force. She smoothed non-existent wrinkles from her floral dress and fidgeted with her purse strap. "We don't have to do this today if you're not ready," Olivia said gently. Emily took a deep breath and squared her shoulders. "No, I want to. I need to." Inside, they were greeted warmly by the group facilitator, a tall woman with a shock of vibrant blue hair. "Welcome," she said with a wide smile. "I'm Jess. Is this your first time joining us?" Emily nodded, suddenly feeling shy. "I'm Emily," she managed. "And this is my wife, Olivia." "It's wonderful to meet you both," Jess said. "We're so glad you're here. Why don't you grab some coffee and mingle a bit before we get started?" As they made their way to the refreshment table, Emily was struck by the diversity of the group. There were people of all ages, races, and gender presentations. Some were clearly early in their transition journey, while others seemed to have fully embraced their authentic selves. A young person with close-cropped hair and multiple piercings approached them with a friendly smile. "First time?" they asked. At Emily's nod, they continued. "I'm Alex. My pronouns are they, them. What about you?" "She, her," Emily replied, the words still feeling new on her tongue. "I'm Emily, and this is my wife, Olivia." They chatted easily as the room filled up. Emily was surprised at how quickly her nerves dissipated. There was a sense of camaraderie in the air, a shared understanding that needed no explanation. When Jess called the meeting to order, Emily found herself sharing more than she'd intended. The words poured out of her. The years of hiding, the fear of rejection, the joy of finally embracing her true self. Tears flowed freely, but they were cathartic rather than painful. As others shared their stories, Emily felt a profound sense of belonging. Here were people who truly understood the complex emotions she'd been grappling with. They offered advice, commiseration, and most importantly, hope. One older woman's words particularly resonated. "The journey isn't always easy," she said, her voice gentle but strong. "There will be setbacks and challenges, but I promise you, living authentically is worth every struggle. The joy of finally being yourself. There's nothing like it." By the time the meeting ended, Emily felt simultaneously drained and invigorated. She and Olivia exchanged contact information with several members of the group, making plans to meet for coffee or shopping trips. As they walked to their car, hand in hand, Olivia turned to Emily with a soft smile. "How are you feeling?" Emily considered the question carefully. "Overwhelmed," she admitted. "But in a good way. For so long, I felt like I was the only one going through this. Hearing other people's stories, seeing how far they've come, it makes everything feel possible." Olivia squeezed her hand. "It is possible, and I'll be right here with you every step of the way." Thanks for watching. Don't forget to check out my other socials if you want more wonderful content, early access, behind the scenes, and more. All links down below.